Your engine could be wearing itself out right now, and you might have no idea. The scary part? Your car can start every morning, drive perfectly, and show 0 warning lights, while expensive problems are quietly developing under the hood. And the worst part? Some of the habits causing that damage are things you probably do without thinking. So let's start with one that seems completely harmless. You start the car, buckle your seatbelt, and immediately hit the gas. The engine sounds fine, the car moves fine. So, what's the problem? Modern engines don't need to sit and idle for 5 or 10 minutes. But there's a difference between driving normally and pushing a cold engine hard. When the engine is cold, the oil hasn't reached its normal operating condition yet. So instead of immediately accelerating aggressively, start the car. Give it a brief moment, then drive gently until the engine warms up. Simple. But here's what most drivers don't realize. Even if you treat a cold engine perfectly, you can still be slowly damaging it with something you do every few thousand miles. Your car still runs perfectly. No strange sounds, no warning lights, nothing feels wrong. So you think, I'll change the oil later. A few hundred miles pass, then a few more. What's the big deal? Engine oil isn't just there to make everything slippery. It helps reduce friction, carry heat away, and protect the engine's internal components. But as oil ages, it becomes contaminated and can lose some of its protective ability. And certain driving conditions can make that happen faster. Heavy traffic, constant short trips, extreme temperatures, or towing. That's why your manufacturer's maintenance schedule matters. Don't wait for your engine to sound unhealthy before taking care of it, because the next mistake can hide for much longer. You check your coolant and notice the level is lower than before, but the car isn't overheating. No smoke, no warning light, everything seems normal, so you top it off and forget about it. That's the problem. Coolant shouldn't constantly disappear. If you're repeatedly adding more, there could be a leak somewhere in the cooling system. And a small leak doesn't have to cause an immediate disaster. It can slowly get worse until the engine can no longer control its temperature properly. Then suddenly, a small leak becomes an overheating engine, and that can turn a relatively simple repair into a very expensive one. So if your coolant keeps disappearing, don't just keep topping it off. Find out where it's going. And now we're getting to a warning sign people ignore all the time. Your engine suddenly starts ticking, or rattling, or making a sound you've never heard before. But then, a few minutes later, it disappears. So you tell yourself, probably nothing, maybe it is. But what if it isn't? An unusual sound can be something minor. Or, it can be an early warning that something mechanical is starting to fail. And here's the important part. You don't have to know what the sound means. You just need to recognize that it's new. Because catching a problem early can mean a small repair. Ignoring it until the engine gets worse can mean a massive bill. So if your engine suddenly sounds different, pay attention, because there's still one mistake, and this is the one that connects everything we've talked about. This is how a lot of people treat their cars. No warning light? Everything's fine. No overheating? Everything's fine. The car still drives? Everything's fine, right? Not necessarily. Your engine doesn't suddenly become unhealthy on the day it breaks. The breakdown is usually the final chapter, not the beginning of the story. Before that happens, there may have been a fluid slowly disappearing, an oil change that kept getting delayed, a strange noise you ignored, a small leak, a warning light you didn't take seriously. Those weren't random problems. They were clues, and your car was giving you those clues before the repair bill arrived. That's the real mistake. It's not simply failing to maintain your car, it's believing if it still runs, it must be fine. But a healthy engine isn't just one that starts. It's one you're actually paying attention to. Follow the manufacturer's maintenance schedule, check your fluids, notice changes, and investigate problems while they're still small, because the most Expensive engine problems usually don't begin with a dramatic explosion or a car suddenly stopping on the highway. They begin quietly, with a tiny warning that you noticed and told yourself, "I'll deal with it later." And here's the scary part. Sometimes the biggest danger to your car isn't the car itself, it's the person behind the wheel. Because there are reasons bad drivers genuinely think they're good drivers, and I explained exactly why in this video. Click it next.